away documents. The NLC, while condemning this act by the security operatives, noted that the invading troop claimed that they were looking for seditious materials used for the hashtag End Bad Governance protest. Now, reacting to this days later, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, clarified that the operatives of the force did not raid the headquarters of the Nigeria Labour Congress, but an office in the building being used by a foreigner, noting that the man was one of the masterminds of the crisis that ravaged Sudan and was among the organizers of the just concluded hashtag End Bad Governance nationwide protest. And so today we'll be looking at the security perspective to this and also hear from the NLC on the situation. Joining me to speak further on this is the Head of Information and Public Affairs, NLC, Comrade Benson Upa. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. It's great to have you on the program.
Thank you.
All right, we also have a security expert, founder and journalist, Global Sentinel Security and Defense, Senator Iroegbu. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Zana. Good evening, Mr. Benson.
My pleasure. Good evening.
Thank you so much for joining us as well. And so before we dive right into it, I would like you to also listen, and for others as well listening, to listen to the first spokesman, Muyiwa Adejobi, who said in a monitored program monitored by Radio Now's news desk. This was on Politics Today, and he said that it was the second floor of the complex of the Nigeria Labour Congress that was raided last week Wednesday in search of some incriminating documents to establish a case against an international subversive element. All right, let's listen to him.
We have been working on a particular man who has been a global criminal, not only a threat to Nigeria or African continent, but to the whole world. And incidentally, with our scientific analysis of certain information about this man, we discovered that he's on the second floor of the Labour House. And with the nature of the case, whether there is any authority or not, it was a coordinated operation, not only the Nigeria Police Force. We have been able to have a coordinated operation, the team comprising many security operatives. And we were able to trace a particular man to that place. And we have recovered documents to prove that this is a threat to Nigeria. So far, so good. We actually want to invite the leadership of the NLC, at least to clarify certain issues, because we have stumbled on some documents to show that there are some correspondences between the man and the NLC. He's the head of the syndicate, and unfortunately, he has an office on the second floor. Our operation was not the target on the NLC as a body or on the NLC secretariat. The security guys have come to give us statement. Only if Labour can understand and have the information we have at hand. The Labour will not even raise any issue of whether the secretariat was ransacked, because we are talking of patriotism in this regard. We are talking of national security.
All right, that was the first spokesman, Muyiwa Adejobi. So I'll begin with Comrade Upa. Before you react to what the first spokesman said, has Labour resumed now? Because, from that press statement that I got, the NLC directed his staff to stay away from the Labour House for now. And so, have the staff resumed now? Are you back in the office?
No, we're not.
Okay, so you're still working from home? Why is that?
I say we are not. I mean, the reasons for our staying away were well explained in the communique issued at the end of the next meeting. We are taking precautions. Okay?
Okay, you're still taking precautions. But as of now, these armed security agents, that you said surrounded the Labour House, are they still there as well? Comrade Ukwa, can you hear me?
I have just told you that at the moment we are not going to office. So how will I be able to tell you what is happening in the office when I'm not at the office?
Okay, I mean, just to clarify, this was the statement also made by the NLC. You just want to be sure, are they still there? Are they not? Okay, all right. And so, from what the first spokesman has said, he said that the 10th floor wasn't raided. It was the second floor, housing this person. Of course, it's the labor building, but it was the second floor and had nothing to do with the NLC. Your reaction to that?
Well, we have responded to the police earlier explanation. We describe police explanations as afterthoughts. But on a point-by-point basis, will the police personnel and those who went with them, will they swear to an oath that they were not on the 10th floor? And what did they do on the 10th floor? And for your information, the second floor houses offices of NLC officials. Okay? So it does not make any sense. And as to their claim that they were after an international criminal or terrorist, for goodness sake, if the police had any credible intelligence, what was wrong in sharing that intelligence with the leadership of NLC, at least the president of NLC or the general secretary of the NLC, even if they felt that such an information could jeopardize the operation, that information could be shared at H hour. That is at the hour of strike. But they didn't do that. They came, turned the place upside down, cutted away everything, and are now beginning to rationalize. And if they had such credible information as they claim, why? Wouldn't it amount to a major intelligence failure to have allowed such an international crook or threat? As it is now, in fact, they even said that that the person has a nuclear capability or whatever it is. So, how could they have allowed such a threat exist for so long?
Okay.
How could they have allowed the quarry slip through their fingers if all what they are saying is true? So it tells you that there is something patently false. You see, and it's typical of the police.
Okay. Comrade Upa,
you and I are witnesses. Listen, I'm explaining something.
Okay.
You and I are witnesses to scenarios in which the police will tell you after a gallant confrontation with armed robbers that that after a major operation against armed robbers, that the gallant officers of the force were able to neutralize the armed robbers. And you see dead bodies and guns.
Comrade Upa, because of the time we have, so that we do not, digress now. You've mentioned that if they had that intelligence, why didn't they share with the NLC? Right? Okay, we have a security analyst who will also try to respond to that. But from what the police have said, they said this second floor is a bookshop. Is that right? Because you said it houses a staff of the NLC, but they're also saying this is a bookshop as well. A private bookshop by this foreigner, owned by a foreigner.
I have just told you.
Comrade Upa, I can't really hear you.
I have just told you that the second floor houses of NLC officers.
Okay. And so,
can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. And so,
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Comrade
Upa.
Can
you hear me now?
I can hear you, Comrade Upa.
Yes. And I'm telling you, and I want to repeat. Just be attentive. I have just told you that the second floor houses offices of NLC executives as well. But
there's also a bookshop. I just want to clarify that. Is there a bookshop there as well, aside housing, the staff?
Listen to me. In our statement, we told you that a bookshop was on the second floor.
Okay.
We were the ones who said so.
Okay.
Okay. We must deny the fact that that there was a bookshop on the second floor. We never denied that fact.
Okay.
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 And I've just raised a fundamental question.
Okay.
At what time did they have this intel?
Comrade Upa, yes,
Afterthoughts.
I understand you. I mean, we're coming to that. I mean, this is what we're discussing on the program today. So that bookshop, to be clear again, since it's the labor house, they've talked about the landlord-tenant relationship. Was it given to a foreigner? Was it rented to a foreigner?
I will not answer that question.
Comrade Upa, can you hear me? Comrade Upa, are you there?
If you can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Comrade Upa.
Okay.
Yes.
If you can hear me, then listen and listen. Answering your question presupposes that you have bought hook, line, and sinker the narrative of the police, and there be no need for this. For this interview.
Comrade Upa, there needs to be clarification. Just like I asked, you've come out to say that the 10th floor was raided. They didn't say that, but you have said the 10th floor was raided. We're also all trying, because this is a matter of national security at the end of the day. And so if they said, okay, foreigners,
let me tell you something.
It's left for us to hear from you as well. Can you hear me? This is not taking anything look like line and sinker.
National security. On issue of national security, let me tell you this. The Nigerian Labour Congress is passionate about national security. For free, not for salary, not for budget, not for allowances. So nobody should lecture us on the import or importance of national security. For NLC, that is our business. That is what we do. Is the security of this country, the sovereignty of this country, that is our business. It is not the police that do and lecture national security.
Comrade Upa, this is just a way. This is an interview to know the situation of things. We have to clarify.
Don't lecture me. Don't look.
Comrade Upa, let me talk to Senator Irebu so that he can.
Don't lecture me. Don't lecture me on interviews.
Comrade Upa, this is just a question. They've said foreigners. It's left for you to clarify or not. If you're saying no, it's not a foreigner. Oh yes, it's a foreigner. Doesn't say anything. It's just clarifying what the police has said. Comrade Upa, this is just an interview again to get what is actually happening. So nobody's on the side of the police, or nobody's on the side of the Labour Congress. We need to get the informations right. Okay, let me quickly come to Senator Irebu. You've heard Comrade Upa. What the police said was that there is a man who is a threat to democracy, and not just even Nigeria, outside of the world. He said that is a mastermind of the Sudan crisis. Looking at the way that the police responded to this, the security operatives, what's your thoughts on that? Raiding the NLC complex, in the middle of the night, although they've said that, they can work at any time when you're talking about matter of security. But what's your thought on this?
I think my thought is, yes, the police can take actions when it feels that our national security is threatened. It's part of their job to do so. But over time, what I come into question is the manner of which they go about doing that. It's just like acting to when DSS was raiding the House of Judges, the judicial officers, bulldozing their house, claiming they have something. Then at the end, they were not even able to prove their allegation. And they did it in such a Gestapo manner that at the end, they defeat the whole essence. So, in as much as, yes, we want to support the police and every other security agencies to do their job for national security, but over time, the manner of which they go about it has created doubt, mistrust in the mind of the public. That even when they eventually are saying the truth or want to say the truth, nobody seems to listen because they follow a very wrong approach. In a more transparent time, by this time, we should have had names, we should have seen evidence, both pictorial. Police should have been explaining to us, show us the shop, show us the name of the so-called foreigner, give us evidence of why or what. They don't just, is this over the years of doing something in a clandestine way? At the end, nothing is being explained. You just come out and issue press statement that you are pursuing a foreigner you are looking for, and that's it. So no serious clarification, no serious transparency and accountability in the way they carry out their operation. And going to such a sensitive place like a labor house, they should have been more careful, like the comrade said, that they should have also contacted. But I understand if police feel that, okay, the operation can be compromised, they may hold their information to their chest. But now, after having done that, what is their what are you telling to the public? Okay. What are your evidence?
Okay. So
what is the name of this foreign? So it needs to be aware. It's not just you come and issue a press statement telling us there's a foreigner, there's some goods. It's not how it's done. It is. Let me give, for example, be it UK or ABI. You have seen names immediately. You have seen the history of how they trace the person, the connection they have, or for reasons. They may know other vital information, but there are some certain information that members of the public that will make it look transparent and believable. And people will know, yes, this is the reason and is justified.
Okay.
And this is
Mr. Iroebu, you know, from what the police have mentioned, they said that they've been following this man. Like they said, it's not just Nigeria was one of the masterminds of the crisis in Sudan.
No, not that. But that's the word against. What's the evidence? What's the evidence? And you're telling, you say you are following this man, and within that statement, you also say you are not after the man, you are after the documents. That they are not after to capture the man, but to capture the
No, they are actually after the man, but they said he wasn't there. They just wanted to get the documents from that place, but they are still on his trail. That's why they said they have not mentioned names. In fact, they said they have arrested some persons.
So if you have not mentioned names, and the office has been raided, the man has already been alerted. So what is they saying? The thing is that even if like those. There was a time Nigerian armed military, they will come and publish the names of wanted criminals or terrorists and their pictures. So are they not still looking for them or place bounty on some people? They will mention their name and say, so person is on the run. We are placing bounty. So why are you doing what for this secret? Sometimes that's what we are saying.
Okay.
And even if they are saying the truth now, the way they are going about it creates this doubt, the Gestapo style, and this also calls into the need to have this intelligence vision where that links all the security and intelligence agencies and all that sensitive MDAs, whereby they can have intelligence information that they can share among themselves in real time.
Okay.
Yes, I know that sometimes while other services want to hide, they feel that there can be some elements within other that may jeopardize the operation. But that I understand.
Yes, because that's one of the reasons they said they did not mention. I mean, they have that right once they know that this person could be harmful, to the country, or is a criminal. There are certain procedures as well as to that.
They need to improve their communication style. We can't continue like this. We can't continue whereby you go and this is why people have been EFCC, DSA. They've been losing cases.
Okay, Mr. Ibebu, because I have to come to Comrade Ukpa now. I'm thinking, what's the gain of this person? They said he's destabilized Sudan, right? And now again, he wants to do the same thing to Nigeria. They're saying he's a foreigner. In fact, they're saying maybe Britain, someone from Russia or Britain. They're saying he's claiming different identities. It wasn't said if this person is a Nigerian or not, but they're saying it's being a Russian, it's being a Britain person. So what gain do you think that person actually wants, after destabilizing Sudan, and also wants to do the same thing in Nigeria? Can you hear me, Senator Iroegbu?
Yeah, okay. I thought, okay, yes. What I'm saying, yes, and this is the reason why the person identity should be revealed, so that people, the members of the public, can even help to track. Because once you are pursuing someone who is on the run, because already by what they are saying, his cover has been blown. He's already aware that he's being pursued. Now, if you make his identity known, assuming he's still running, he's in Kano or he's in any boundary state, or he can be traced and captured, and that's how it's done. The way you're not really dealing, because up till now we'll be asking security and intelligence, tell us the sponsors of terrorists. They say the government will say we have their names, we cannot reveal them. This is not, and this is why the members are finding it difficult.
Okay.
Sometimes
Okay.
they doubt some information. This is not how it's done. You say you have a suspect, you raided that suspect, he's having multiple identity. Review the person so that if the members of the public can even help to track this person, and so that people can know if he's maybe he's operating in Kano and go to Rivers.
Okay.
He's answering Emmanuel in Kano and answering Emmanuel in Rivers.
Okay.
People can be able to place who is it. So
let me come back to you, Mr. Roebu. So let me quickly come back to Comrade Upa now. The police, have they reached out to you on this? I mean, aside the statement as to, the statement release or the interview granted, has the police had any conversation with the NLC as to the arrest of the suspects? They said they've arrested some persons, and then the reason, why the NLC building was raided. Again, before you answer the question, the first PRO said that they would also speak with the NLC. They need you in this probe of the suspect. Will you be willing to work with the police?
First and foremost, let me commend Senator Iruebu for his intellect and forthrightness in the analysis of this mess. First, where the police claimed that, they raided the bookshop, not a library, bookshop. A bookshop is an open place. Anybody, if the police had been sure of their facts and had put their act together, even if they didn't want to tip NLC off, they could come as customers, did their recce, and spring an operation quietly, a sting operation. But look at, it's a place as sensitive as NLC headquarters. Look at, they made a mess of all of this blood. And the reason why they did what they did was because they were operating in the dark. If they had their facts right, if they were sure of their facts, they ought to have acted more intelligently. We spend huge sums of money training them. So what has happened to their years of experience and training?
Comrade Ukwa, they're saying that they got their intelligence right. In fact, they said they got some documents that they actually needed.
Excuse me. I want you to know one thing. Senator Iruebu just told you of police telling you they have names of terrorist sponsors and whatever. Government will tell you that every day. Have you seen anybody's name? I was trying to explain to you of dead bodies that the police will arrange with guns. Quite often, those corpses or dead bodies were innocent people, executed cold blood.
You understand? We have to speak with facts when we're talking about things like that. But time has come. For this country not to be misled by cheap propaganda. If the police had this credible intelligence, why would they have to wait till 8 in the night? Who will be in that place?
evidence without the man or whoever they are looking for, what benefit will it be? Common sense, you don't need a degree. You don't need a degree in intelligence. Let me tell you, you don't need a degree in intelligence.
Comrade Upa.
Let me speak. Let me speak.
Because of time, I just want to know, will you be willing to work with the police?
No.
They're not here.
No,
I mean, they will say that they can operate at any time.
I would want you to respect my right of response.
Okay, go ahead. But if you're saying in the night, they have a right to operate at any time. You know, that's it. They can actually operate.
I get you too many for this interview. To flow.
Comrade Upa, go ahead.
Okay. I am telling you that what you need to use one finger to take. Why do you need to use 10 limbs to take? And I'm telling you that a bookshop is a public place. That people go buy things and leave. That anybody with their brains in their head and not elsewhere would not need to cause all of that bedlam. You just stroll in incognito and do the needful. That would even have enabled them to catch their quarry. But they didn't do that. They waited till when they knew the quarry will not be there. And they went. So who is the one subverting this country? And yet they said the man is a terrorist, with a long history of causing problems across the world.
The country.
Why would the materials be more important? I'm asking you, why would the materials be more important than the man?
Well, they said they are still looking for the man to arrest him.
So ask yourself. I'm asking you, Zainab. So why would the documents be more important? Than the owner of the document.
I'm not the police.
Why would they not give us the person's identity?
But have you been reached out to by the police?
Ask questions that can. That can.
Comrade Upa, I wish you answered me. Yes, I wish that you could answer me on, the identity of the person. If it's foreign, but you do not want to answer that.
The identity. For me, I do not know of a terrorist or anybody or a founder or a sponsor or a security threat. I do not know of any. The police have told you so. The police should be able to tell you, ask them.
All right, moving forward, Comrade Upa, as the police read out to you on this matter, this is something, if they are saying that the person was housed in this building, the NLC is also saying that, the 10th floor was raided. This is different from what the police is saying, because they are saying the 2nd floor. You are saying they also raided the 10th floor. But have you been reached out to on this matter at all? And would you be willing to work with the police, because they have said that they would reach out to the NLC for a probe of this suspect?
We do not cross a bridge before we reach it. That's my response.
Okay, so what next for Labour now? From your statement, I saw that you're demanding an apology.
Why would the police now want to work? To work with us? Why they are not ready to work with us? Huh? You think we don't have right? Choose the careers that we chose to follow. We were schoolmates, classmates, classmates with some of these guys. Okay. Of course, for a person of my age, of course, these guys came much later.
Okay.
Into service.
So, everybody has their rights. And Comrade Upa.
Okay, let's end it. End it. I'm ending it.
Comrade Upa, can you hear me? All right, let me quickly come to Senator Ray. Comrade Upa, I can hear you. Comrade Upa, can you hear me? Comrade Upa, are you there? Let me quickly come to Senator Iregu now. Senator Iregu, because we have to wrap up now. Looking at the government's response as to this as well. We've not heard from the Minister of Defense. We've not heard from the spokesperson of the president, or even the president. If you're saying that this is a matter of national security, if you're saying that this person is a threat to democracy, shouldn't the government also have responded to this?
think for now it's still at the level of the police. I think it is not something that they can handle. It's something that they are handling at that level. It's not something that is that requires like a sort of national emergency that is overwhelming them. And I'm sure they are also working cooperatively with other sister agencies, military intelligence agencies on the issue. So, and the main point that for Nigerians, we all want our security and intelligence agencies to succeed. We all want the security of our nation, because when they do well, it's for overall good of every one of us. But what we are saying, we also want improvement. And we don't want the old ways that have been leading to lapses to continue.
Okay.
And that things need to improve.
All right.
That issue of, there are a lot of gaps, there are a lot of questions around this issue, just like some controversial ones in the past. And we want the police and every other agencies to improve in the way they operate. Just like, and sometimes when they make this mistake, there should be queries, there should be questions. They should not be placated or allowed to just go scot-free. How can you go in the middle of the night in a non-residential place, when through the day you can easily get the person? And there are a lot of gaps, there are a lot of questions. So this question, I think, is also what the media need to be asking the police to answer these questions, so that we can get to the truth. This will help them to improve.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Senator Irigu, for being on the program. Certainly, we are out of time. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you so much. We had the head of information and public affairs, NLC, Mr. Benson Okpa, and also security expert and a founder and journalist, Global Sentinel Security and Defense. And we're speaking on that raid on the NLC headquarters in Abuja. We'll wrap up on the big story this evening. We'll take some messages and you can join me on the round table.
Since 1894, we've witnessed the evolution of a nation and proudly partner with its people on their path to prosperity. From the ink-stained ledgers to fast transactions, First Bank has consistently adapted, embracing innovation and making giant strides across the globe. It's not just about banking, it's about enabling your success, generation after generation. Our legacy defying the past.